What's up guys, this is Sean and today we are in Marbella.
It's actually pronounced as Marbella.
Ipoh South Precinct at Ipoh. Let's go! Finally, we are stopping by Ipoh to check out their property market. Today we're going to check out a landed strata located around Simpang Pulai, Taman Botani, pretty close to the airport. And first observation, right, you can really feel the serenity. Even the air, it's colder than whatever air that I breathe in city centre. These are their previous launches, and there's a field designed by the developer as well to host all the kids' activities. Those are also the previous projects, and currently the only access to the show unit will be by the gate coming into this temporary road. Few observations I've made. There are a lot of international schools here, like Fairview is here, the Botany International School is also around here, and public school as well. My only concern right now is very close to the airport, and I've seen like certain light aircrafts and helicopters. That's because currently due to the pandemic, right, there's not much air traffic right now, but I think if it's quite heavy, as the popularity of Ipoh rises, more people will actually travel here. That might be a concern. So this is the front portion of the land, and this is the boundary. In front of the houses will be the semi lots that is previously sold. On the other side, that will be a different development altogether, and this will be the boundary. So what you can really see is the floor drop, the floor level drop into it. Do take note as well, there will be some low cost affordable housing at the end, but it's a distance away from the site. Because it's a strata development again, the boundary will be fenced up, and this will be the structures. Adjacent to the project, the common similarities between both will be this central padang, right? This central open space where I think the developer has provided more than what was required. Usually it's just like walkways, trees and things like that, right? But they provided the futsal court, they provided the reflexology pathways, because I think they want to attract more people, and these are the ways they want to stand out among the competition. Okay, coming into the site, this was the temporary access. There will be a guardhouse here that governs the entire security for these 104 units of landed properties. What's cool, it's strata, so it has a central clubhouse and it's fully constructed. This row, the selling point will be the clubhouse behind, hence the design will be slightly different in terms of land size and profile. Generally, you can see it's all different in sizes, like 22 by 75 seems to be the standard. Here will be the main entrance, and this road will connect you directly into the clubhouse at the end, and this will be the unit that we're going to check out today. As real as it gets, they are actually building, casting the plinth for your floor level already. So they are actually putting the concrete via that bucket and pouring it in because it's too deep, right? Anyway, this will be the front elevation of your house. You have the arches, you have the lights with floral decors, right? Cast iron finished. Then you have all these patterns on the floor tiles, somewhat like mosaic. Then you have the round columns, which is pretty unique to do. The first thing I would want to highlight is the steps. These steps is rather high. How I wish that this could be a ramp, so it's more friendly for elderlies as well. This is rather different compared to the rest of the terrace houses. Usually you have the kitchen, then you have the living and dining facing at the back. So we go on further, right? This is a 20 by 75 feet house, and when you come into the car porch, this is a very different approach where the kitchen is on the front with a bedroom here, then you have the bathroom and the sliding door here. Then there will be the living and dining in the front facing the clubhouse. Then you have the staircase going upwards. You have the principal bedroom, then the two bedrooms on the side. What's cool as well, you can see there's a cross here. It means that there's a void. Coming in, this will be the L-shaped kitchen, that 1.5 meters wall tiles. You have that 3.5-ish meters ceiling. After this kitchen, right, there's this empty space here, which I think it's pretty rare. Like the fact that I can have a dry kitchen for a house that is 20 feet, right? I think it's very spacious, and I also like that they manage these details of the staircase landing, right? Because of the height of the unit, which is 3.5, right? This actually protrudes out. Also, what I like would be this entrance with the glass door above, door here separating the kitchen space with the living spaces. Okay, here you have a bedroom, and take note that there's no skirtings. The space generally feels very big and wide, right? Mainly because of the 3.5 ceiling height though. It's so tall, even the door, it's higher than normal. On a normal scale door, it's like 7 feet, this is 8 feet, which is 2.4 meters. Okay, check out the common bathroom. There's a window up there for ventilation to the void, and this will be the tiles. The definition of Spanish inspired will be on the patterns on the floorings as well as these detailings. Then for specs, this is by Taka. This is also by Taka. Shower, your bidet. Moving on to your living and dining space next to this void. So what's the function of this air well, right? One, it provides ventilation output for toilets, so it carries out and improves the airflow in the house. Number two, it introduces daylight into the house. Just bear in mind, this is not the original condition of the air well. You need to do your own landscape, so that also gives opportunities, right? If you have rabbits, if you have pets, right, that can be a space for them. And now we are in the dining and living space. It's huge. In accordance to their Spanish theme, again, you have the balustrade detailings, you have the patterns, and because it's 3.5 meters to your next floor level, right, the steps are rather extensive though. It means there are more steps for me to climb, but I really enjoy this open feeling of the layout, right? The daylight is sufficient, ventilation is so cool, and the backdrop for your living room will be the swimming pool of the central clubhouse. Anytime your kid, bye daddy, I want to go out and swim, straight away can go in already. That would be so cool. Okay, coming upstairs, there will be 3 bedrooms here. The weirdest thing is this bedroom door. And when you come upstairs, right, there's a slanted door here. The spaces of the bedrooms are generally huge. So this is 2.6 meters by width and 3 meters by height. You have a big panel of windows here, right? And there will be a shared bathroom between 2 units. Right, so this will be the bathroom, again with the design of the Spanish inspired patterns. So please be informed, right, that the doors used here will be not your usual swing door, but it's a folding door instead. Similar with ground floor, this will be by Taka, and this will be by Taka. Then without compromising daylight in the bathroom, they implemented frosted windows, which I like. Just that it's very weird to terminate at the edges. Tile finishes is higher than usual, which is 2.1. I wish they could go up all the way, because as a user, it's pretty hard for me to get similar patterns to extend it if I want to. Then with the absence of the door frames, it's pretty hard to terminate the tiles into the brick wall like that. Because usually there's a door frame where you can actually hide this part. Now you can't, so this might be kinda tricky as well. Then this will be the second bedroom, again pretty similar, just that how I wish they are skirtings, right? If not every time I mop the floor, so sooner or later those will be grey colour. Before we head opposite to the principal bedroom, right, at the side, you have access to the air well. You can either dress it up as a garden like this. Generally, this is how it will look like. On an actual unit, there won't be these kind of things because these are just sprinklers for the plants temporarily. And because of this air well, right, the bathrooms can be natural ventilated. The frontage of the building can be used to place windows for the rooms instead. Like if the toilet were to be attached to the facade, right, then the size of the bedroom will be smaller than. Not very nice though. This does not feel like a link house at all. Basically because the toilet is positioned here instead of being attached to the facade. So that eases up this entire facade, and check out the window panels. You'll have your very own Spanish balcony. And that will be the clubhouse. This will be the backdrop and the water fountain will be the mask to any noise. The developer has also purchased the land over there, and that will somewhat allows them to dress up the areas below the high tension cables. Also, if you look into the overall arrangements, right, they place minimal units close to the high tension cables but more over to the internal, so they use the clubhouse as that buffer instead, which I like. It means that they respond to the concern of potential buyers. So something I want to address about strata living is not as common in Ipoh just yet. The design team found out that there's a growing demand for such products because of the lifestyle change. What the younger buyers want nowadays are actually lifestyle elements within their development. Instead of going to the public pool or the public park, then I don't get access during MCO, I can have one in my very own residence. Number two will be the benefit of gated and guarded, where in this development, right, you will need to go through 2 guardhouses. Another drastic change will be the long gone concept of having a mansion to host all several generations. Now buyers want to have their very own private spaces, so they don't really mind the houses being a little bit smaller, but then they have shared facilities. Coming to the bedroom, this will be your desk or walk-in wardrobe. Then you can go into your principal bathroom, again with the elements of Spanish inspired designs. I wish that this could have been just gone up all the way. One thing to also point out would be the unfriendly drop. Right? You can see this kind of details. This is rather high, and the problem with pattern floorings like this is I don't see the drop. Actually, there's a drop there. You can actually put your own shower screen. I think it's fine. Just that it might be pretty dangerous. It's like okay, coming out from the back door, you have an apron for the slab, then connecting to the landscape, and then connecting to the clubhouse really. So the facade looks kind of cool. And now let's head on to the clubhouse. You have the swimming pool, exact size, exact shape and color. Now walking into the clubhouse, and this will be the landscape areas. You have your lap pool, you have your fountains, very nice, right? So the blue, the very Spanish blue. So temporarily they are using this as the sales gallery where you can come and visit, right? Also the show units and things like that. This will be the hangout space next to the pool. You'll move on to the gym at the back. So this feels like a bungalow by itself. And next to that you have your Muay Thai, boxing ring kind of thing, and your equipment. This will be the cardio area facing the pool. Coming upstairs, there will be 2 areas. One will be the co-working space, and the other will be the dancing studio. It's so spacious. Wow. During the visit as well, I was also thinking like, what really is the selling point? Apparently, in accordance to the team, there are a lot of upgraders from the neighborhoods surrounding. For example, Pasir Pinji, Simpang Pulai, and etc. Because those houses, because my kampong is also in Pasir Pinji, the single stories houses are in existence since 50, 60 years ago. So the infrastructures are not really as well done in comparison to what is provided in this area. They will be very attracted to facilities like this. Going over to the other side, this will be the co-working area. Children can be here sharing the same tutor, and there's a relaxed lounge here, a reading space here. And I'm actually very happy to see these concepts being adopted. As you guys know, I always love innovations, and it seems like MCO kinda like speeding things up. Now you really have people paying more attention towards their home. So the appreciation for a common area like this. Sometimes when the house got 3 person having virtual meetings, right, it's just too noisy. And this space seems to be like quiet zone for me to edit videos. Very cool. I really like the bean bags. I like the stained glass. So flavorful. In the end, you have your management office as well. So I guess that's all for this visit. It's now time for Sean Take 3 on 3. 3 things I really like. Number 1 would be the developer strategy in development. In this area, they had several other projects where you have the link house, the semi-D, the cluster, then the high-rise as well. In order to up their game to have that product differentiation for this development, they implemented the Spanish design. Now they want to do landed strata, pushing up the level of residents again. The main customers that are buying this area, right, would be upgraders. People from Gunung Rapat, from Simpang Pulai, even from Cameron Highlands, people are buying this project. This seems to be the more affluent area where you have 2 international schools, and I think the team managed to capture all those interests. Point number 2 would be the design approach for the unit. I like the innovative approach of shifting the kitchen up front that will leverage on the swimming pool of the clubhouse. They introduce an air well to allocate the toilet in the middle of the layout so they can maximize the facade to capture and frame up that pool view. And then to just spice up a little bit on the design, they introduce certain Spanish architecture elements such as the balustrade, such as the patterned tiles, the mosaics, the curvaceous balcony, the solid surface to put your basin and things like that, right? All those just add a little bit of flavor to that usual terrace house, and I kind of like it. And last of all, I like the clubhouse. This completed clubhouse, right, besides them using it as a sales gallery and you being in the site directly, you can really like witness construction happening in front of your eyes. This strategy gives confidence to purchasers. Like they don't need to guess the dimension of the pool, how does the pool look like. This requires a lot of capital up front from the developers, but I'm glad that they did it. Then the 3 things I don't like, number 1 would be the fact that it's pretty close to the airport. Because of the pandemic now, I don't think there's a lot of flight that's going on. Apparently this airport has its restriction because of the limitation to the length. They cannot accommodate bigger planes, hence the only flight that will fly here directly is the Johor one and the Singapore one. And the frequency is like 3 times a week. Number 2 would be the existence of the high tension cable at the end of the site. So there are certain stigmas towards pylon. Although scientific findings and papers and journals has been published and proven that the buffer given from the cables to the house won't affect you that much in terms of health, but I guess people still do care lah. Last of all, I find the drops in the unit pretty hard. From the car porch to the house, how I wish there was a ramp. Then in the bathroom as well, so the drop is pretty high, and because of the pattern of the Spanish elements, right, I didn't see the drop. And I think that's about it, and it's a wrap for our very first Ipoh property review. Shout out to the team, thank you very much for having me. I'm so happy to see innovative ideas being implemented, also to witness the market picking up in Ipoh itself. So if you really like this video, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Dan. Ciao.